They destroyed him. They absolutely destroyed the Beast incarnate, and nobody did a damn thing to stop it. Brock Lesnar, the man who conquered the Undertaker's streak, the man who made John Cena look like a rookie, the same Brock Lesnar who has dominated WWE for over 2 decades, was left broken, bloody, and helpless in the middle of that ring. And you know what the worst part is? He probably deserved it. Yeah, I said it. Drop your rage in the comments right now because we need to talk about what really happened and why this might be the end of the Brock Lesnar we once knew. Let me take you back to Monday Night Raw. The arena was electric. The crowd was roaring. And then Brock Lesnar's music hit. That familiar theme that sends chills down every wrestler's spine echoed through the arena. The Beast walked down that ramp with his usual cocky confidence, that smirk on his face like he owned the place. Because let's be honest, 4 years, he did own the place. Part-time champion, special attraction, the guy who shows up whenever he feels like it, collects his paycheck, and leaves everyone else to pick up the pieces. But Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker? They weren't having it anymore. The disrespect started weeks ago. Brock had been running his mouth backstage, laughing at the new generation, calling them soft, saying none of them could lace up his boots. He specifically mocked Bronson Reed's weight, called Bron Breakker a wannabe Goldberg, and made it crystal clear that in his eyes, neither of them belonged in the same conversation as him. The WWE Universe heard it, Reed heard it, Breakker heard it, and they were seething. Here's a question for you: do you think Brock Lesnar brought this on himself with his arrogance? Drop your answer below. So when Brock's music hit that night, Reed and Breakker were already waiting. They didn't wait for a bell. They didn't wait for an introduction. The moment Lesnar stepped through those ropes, it was an all-out assault. Bron Breakker came flying in with a spear that could have split Brock in half. The impact was so brutal that the ring shook. Lesnar's eyes went wide, not with anger, but with genuine shock. For maybe the first time in his career, Brock Lesnar looked scared. And then Bronson Reed climbed to the top rope. You know what's coming. That massive, 300-plus-pound powerhouse standing on the top turnbuckle, the ropes straining under his weight. The crowd was on their feet, screaming, cameras flashing everywhere. And then Reed launched himself into the air for the Tsunami. When nearly 340 pounds of pure muscle comes crashing down on your chest from that height, something breaks. And break it did. The sound was sickening. Brock's body folded like an accordion. His face contorted in agony. Medical staff rushed to the ring immediately, but Reed and Breakker weren't done. Oh no, they were just getting started. Breakker pulled Brock up and delivered another spear, this time driving him into the corner post. Lesnar's head snapped back. Blood started trickling from his mouth. The referee was trying to restore order, but these two men were on a mission. Bronson Reed then dragged Brock to the center of the ring, climbed those ropes again, and hit a second Tsunami. At this point, fans were either cheering in shock or sitting in stunned silence. Some were actually covering their mouths in horror. The Beast incarnate wasn't moving. His arms were splayed out. His chest was heaving, gasping for air. Paramedics surrounded the ring, but security had to pull Reed and Breakker away as they stood over Lesnar's broken body, screaming that this is the new era. Let me ask you something else: was this assault justified, or did Reed and Breakker go too far? Sound off in the comments because this is the debate that's tearing the WWE Universe apart right now. But here's where it gets even more intense. As they were loading Brock onto a stretcher, Bron Breakker grabbed a microphone. And what he said sent shockwaves through the entire industry. He said, "Brock, you had your time. You had your moment. But your old ass needs to stay retired because this is our time now. You're a relic. You're a has-been. And if you ever step foot in this ring again, we'll make sure you leave in a body bag." The crowd erupted. Some cheered. Some booed. But everyone was talking. Social media went absolutely insane. Hashtags like End of Beast and Raw were trending worldwide within minutes. WWE legends started chiming in. Stone Cold Steve Austin posted on social media saying this was the most disrespectful thing he's ever seen. The Rock said if he was still active, he'd come back just to whoop both their asses. Mick Foley called it hard to watch but necessary for evolution. Even Paul Heyman, Brock's longtime advocate, released a statement. And you could hear the venom in his words even through text. He said, "You have awoken a beast that should have stayed sleeping. Brock Lesnar will return. And when he does, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker will wish they never signed with WWE. Now here's the reality check that nobody wants to hear. Brock Lesnar is 50 years old. He's been in this business for over 2 decades. His body has been through wars with everyone from Kurt Angle to Roman Reigns. Those suplexes, they take a toll. Those F5s, they add up. And while Brock is a legitimate beast, even beasts get old. Even beasts slow down. The question isn't whether Reed and Breakker could hurt him, the question is whether Brock can still go like he used to. Quick question, if Brock returns, who should he target first, Bronson Reed or Bron Breakker? Let me know your pick. And let's talk about Bronson Reed for a second because this man has been criminally underutilized. He's got the size, he's got the agility, he's got the charisma, but WWE kept him in catering, kept him off television, kept him wrestling on main event like he was some nobody. The frustration was building. And when you back a man into a corner like that, when you tell him he doesn't matter, he's going to explode. And explode he did, all over Brock Lesnar's chest. Then there's Bron Breakker, second-generation superstar, the son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner. This man has wrestling royalty in his blood. He demolished everyone in NXT. He was a two-time NXT champion and looked like an absolute monster doing it. But when he got called up to the main roster, WWE didn't know what to do with him. They gave him meaningless matches. They gave him no direction. They wasted his potential, until now. This attack wasn't just about Brock Lesnar. It was a message to Triple H, a message to the entire locker room, a message to every legend who thinks they can come back whenever they want and take spots from the guys grinding every single week. Reed and Breakker were saying loud and clear, your time is up. But the aftermath is where things got truly heartbreaking. Reports came out the next day that Brock suffered bruised ribs, possible internal injuries, and a concussion. He was hospitalized overnight for observation. Photos leaked of him in the hospital bed, looking vulnerable, looking human, not the unstoppable beast. Just a 50-year-old man who got beat down by two younger, hungrier lions. His daughter posted on social media, praying for my dad. This is hard to watch. Even his biggest haters felt a pang of sympathy. WWE announced that Brock would be out indefinitely. No return date. No guarantee he'd even come back. Triple H held a press conference and called the attack reprehensible and unacceptable, but he also said he understood the frustration. He suspended Reed and Breakker for 2 weeks without pay, but backstage rumors suggest he privately congratulated them for making the biggest statement of the year. Here's another question. Should Triple H have suspended them longer or was 2 weeks enough? Drop your thoughts. The WWE universe is split down the middle. Older fans who grew up with Brock are furious. They are calling for Reed and Breakker to be fired, blacklisted, never allowed in a WWE ring again. They say you don't treat a legend like that. You don't disrespect someone who built the company. But younger fans? They are celebrating. They are thrilled. They are tired of the same old part-timers taking WrestleMania main event spots while full-time wrestlers get left behind. To them, Reed and Breakker are heroes. And maybe that's the point. Maybe WWE planned this entire thing to create this exact division, to spark this exact controversy, because love it or hate it, everyone is talking about it. Raw's ratings that week were the highest they'd been in months. Social media engagement went through the roof. Merchandise sales for Reed and Breakker skyrocketed. WWE is making money off this chaos. But let's say Brock does come back. What happens then? Does he come back for revenge and destroy both of them in a handicap match? Does he pick them off one by one? Or does he shock the world and actually put them over, passing the torch to the next generation? Because that would be the ultimate redemption arc, wouldn't it? The Beast incarnate finally accepting that his time has passed and willingly stepping aside for the future. Final question for you, when Brock returns, should he win or lose? Give me your honest answer. Here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. This angle is brilliant because it forces us to confront an uncomfortable reality. Our heroes get old. Our legends fade. The people we idolized eventually become obstacles to progress. And maybe, just maybe, Brock Lesnar staying around was hurting WWE more than helping. Maybe Reed and Breakker did what needed to be done, even if it broke our hearts to watch. The Beast incarnate is down. The throne is empty, and Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker are standing over it, ready to claim what they believe is rightfully theirs. Whether you love them or hate them, you can't ignore them. They've carved their names into WWE history with the blood of a legend. So what happens next? Does Brock rise from the ashes one more time? Do Reed and Breakker continue their path of destruction? Does WWE have the guts to fully commit to this new era? We're about to find out. And trust me, you do not want to miss what comes next. Hit that like button if this video got you heated. Subscribe and turn on notifications because Wrestling Zone 1 is your source for the realest wrestling talk on YouTube. And drop all your answers to my questions in the comments right now. I'm reading every single one. Let's debate. Let's argue. Let's figure this out together. This is Wrestling Zone 1, and the revolution has just begun.